Thanksgiving weekend, football and food. And for the Thundering Herd, it's a second straight trip to the state of Virginia. We will look back on last week's thrilling game in Norfolk. He has been a painful pleasure for the Thundering Herd football program the past 4 years. Ethan Payne reflects on his Marshall career. And we are not only chatting football, but food with Coach Charles Huff. Stay seated for our Thanksgiving weekend edition of Marshall Football Today with Charles Huff, presented by the Dutch Miller Auto Group, comes right at you right now. We welcome you into the latest edition of Marshall Football Today with Charles Huff, presented by the Dutch Miller Auto Group. I'm Mark Martin. Great to have you with us on Saturday, number 2 in the month of September. It is a Saturday that finds Coach Charles Huff's Thundering Herd with an early bye week. Marshall will resume action next Saturday with a visit to the Horseshoe in Columbus to go up against the Ohio State Buckeyes. It will be a noon kickoff and a game that you will be able to see live right here on Fox 11. So as Marshall preps to play in one of the greatest shrines of all of college football, the Thundering Herd played in another great environment last Saturday by going up against the Hokies of Virginia Tech. We take you to Blacksburg for the Herd game day story.
65,000 strong for the Virginia Tech season opener.
It is a delight to be with you here in Putnam County. Greetings from Hurricane, along with former NFL All-Pro Carl Lee and our great F&R crew, Hannah Klein on the sidelines. I'm Mark Martin, delighted that all of you could be with us here. Steamy conditions the last few weeks, Carl. But
no question about it.
Being a former NFL player, did that remind you of training camp?
This is training camp weather for sure.
It's been a nice drive. Tavian Chandler is wide to the far side. Wilson in motion. Here's Crawford. Good protection, zips it into the end zone for the touchdown. Donnie Mays, the head coach of the Hurricane Redskins, down his third season, has also been a head coach at South Charleston, spent a lot of time there with the late, great John Messenger, and championship success, and hoping to take the Redskins a place they've never been before, and that would be a state championship game. Well, there's a guy that really loves football in Donnie Mays. Crawford launches, and that one is going to be picked. Sean Legros. Legros makes a cut. Sean Legros.
Great block.
We mentioned it a moment ago, Carl. His first year out for football and first game takes it 90 to the house to tie it up. Williamstown has won the last 2 state titles in Class Single A and played for 3 straight. The Wood County School is ready to reload in 2024.
We got a great group of seniors that really stepped up as far as leadership goes. We have about half our starters back from last year's state championship team. So far, so good in terms of the work they're putting in. I think our guys have came with a great attitude every day. We're getting a little bit better every day. And as a team, the cohesiveness is getting better every day.
Williamstown lost some key players like J.R. House Award winner Maxwell Melessa. Lincoln Joy, another All-Stater, is set to step in.
There's only one Max, but I'll tell you there's only one Lincoln Joy. And the best Lincoln Joy is good enough for us. He doesn't have to be Max. He can just be Lincoln. And if he does that, he's going to have a great year and carry us to great heights. He was an All-State player last year, and we have full confidence in him, and we have full confidence in the team that other players are going to step up.
Playing in 3 consecutive title games has helped the cause for this year's squad.
It's definitely a confidence booster, but we can't get lenient on our competition. We should come out pretty strong.
If Williamstown is to win a 3rd straight championship, it will happen this year in Class AA.
But for us, it's about being the best we can be. Because we think if we're the best version of ourselves, if we live up to our potential, it doesn't matter who's across the side. We just want to be the best Williamstown Yellow Jackets we could be. And I think what we do translates. I think the last 2 years we've had stupendous teams, and this year the expectation is the same. The expectation is we're going to be in Charleston, play for a state championship, and hoist a trophy.
The quest begins tonight at home against Ravenswood. In Williamstown with this countdown to kickoff, Mark Martin, Eyewitness Sports. And greetings and welcome to another edition of Friday Night Football Extra, sponsored by the Thornhill Auto Group with my main man, Kenny Bass, Mark Martin, and our great crew. Delighted to have you with us here. Kenny, great to be with you here. Football-esque weather at this time of year tonight, but nonetheless, playoffs rolling on in Ohio and Kentucky. And finally, we get the West Virginia playoffs underway. Going to let you lead it off, my man, because you know what you see sometimes in the playoffs are rematches. And
That's right, you do.
When you think of the Colasurto family, it starts with Father Phil, better known as Pete, who was a coaching legend in football and track at Beckley Woodrow Wilson.
He's been a big influence on me, and still to this day. He gives me a little advice at times. He's not one of these people get the wrong idea about him as maybe, hey, does your dad call you up and tell you need to do this and it's no. He just gives you those couple little tidbits that you better listen to.
Phil Colasurto is the second of the 7 boys and the 4th oldest overall. He quarterbacked Beckley to the Class AAA state title in 1977 under his father's guidance. These days he works as an assistant at Shady Spring, where younger brother Vince serves as the head coach. This week Vince is leading the South Cardinals with Phil once again by his side.
This has been probably one of the highlights of my coaching career, is to be able to finish this up, because I don't have many more years, is being able to finish this up with one of the best coaches I've ever been around.
As the youngest of the 9, Vince looked up to all of his siblings, and certainly Phil, a South quarterback in 1979 who went on to play at Virginia Tech.
I was his #1 fan. I mean, that's and then him going to Virginia Tech, I was all excited about that, and going down as a kid watching those games. He was my superstar. He was my idol.
Phil says his family is extremely close, and it all starts with Mother Nancy.
I mean, everybody talks about, all the brothers and how good, and his sisters were competitive in tennis, and, my dad was a great athlete himself, and he was our coach, but I'll tell you what, my mom was the one that held it together. The glue.
With such a big family, the Colasurtos have a treasure chest of wonderful memories, and this week has added yet another chapter. From the fall to the winter to the spring, championships were claimed in a variety of sports across the landscape of West Virginia. And David Price was happy to be right in the thick of it all, calling it a very eventful and fast year.
When we took the job, we knew that a lot of change had been adopted but not implemented yet. And then with the legislative change and the transfer rule, we had to adopt that and deal with that as well as we entered the job. And then with reclassification and the changes in section and region due to reclassification, and also changes in state tournament venues, and not only that, but some of the formats of our state tournaments as well, with regional play and what have you. But it's been a very eventful year, a year of change, and now we're hoping that we can settle into some of it and let the dust settle and have a great year coming up.
One big switch on the horizon is the venue for state championship football, as it returns to Charleston for the first time since 1993.
We're here at Lately Field, and there's a lot of work going on, updates and things they've been working on is starting to take shape, and we know that this upcoming football season they'll have a lot of it ready to roll, and when the playoffs and state championship roll in for the first time, we'll have 4 classes, and so we're excited about that.
One issue that continues to gain plenty of attention is the number of transfers taking place for all sports.
We're dealing with it right now. It hasn't changed. There's still a lot of transfers, a lot of transfer backs, requests for waivers. We're seeing it, a lot of it. It hasn't slowed down with that, and we think that that'll just be the new wave as long as this rule is in effect.
Going from being a county superintendent to the lead position for the SSAC has allowed David Price firsthand to see just all the outstanding coaches the state of West Virginia has to offer.
Well, you know, we have great people working with our student athletes in West Virginia, and having had the opportunity to work with the school leaders throughout the state, we know what good hands they're in. And having the opportunity not only to see where I was just local, as you said, but to be out around the state and see the passion that our communities have for high school athletics is just great.
And soon the latest round of competition and quest for championships in the Mountain State will begin.
Well, it's getting close, and as we know, right now a lot of schools using their flex days and out at 7-on-7, a lot of basketball camps, a lot of sports camps going on, and we're seeing it every day on social media posts, and everybody's getting ready and geared up for the 24-25 year.
And the fall sports scene will begin during the month of August. In Charleston, Mark Martin, Eyewitness Sports.
I describe him as the greatest basketball player to ever live.
Willie Akers would know best. Jerry and Willie have been friends a long time. They met their junior year of high school.
I had a car all the time, luckily, and he was always my co-pilot. We enjoyed each other, and we had other friends that were good people, and a lot of them I can't tell you how many of them that have come by and called today. I've had calls from everywhere. It's kind of a real emotional morning. But anyway.
This is a story of friendship, a brotherhood between former WVU teammates, a loving bond that runs deeper than the West Virginia hollers.
Ever since that day, we have been roommates and stayed together till right now. All the time. We're in constant communication, and it's been a sad day in my life today.
Basketball was the connection between the two friends.
We played against each other in high school as seniors. We played in the state tournament in West Virginia, and he beat me, and he scored 43 points, but I ended up with 37. So we were, we were friends already. And from that day on, we decided to go to the same place.
Jerry and Willie led WVU to the national title game in 1959, where they lost to Cal. But basketball remained important in both of their lives and created a strong friendship with Tex Williams.
I saw all these people from the different social scenes and all these great celebrities, and little kids go up to them. Some of them, most of them would brush the kids away. Never have I seen Jerry West refuse an autograph or a photo with any human being. That sticks in my mind big time. So this is a sad day. We've cried, but we will cry a long time when thinking of the great memories of this superstar.
Jerry West had many nicknames, everything from the logo to Mr. Clutch to Zeke from Cabin Creek But to Willie, he was just Jerry.
He was funny. He was really loved to joke and play around. But after he got out of the house, he was kind of, straight up. And we had great times with all the games we won. So it's been a long time, and we met up at the Greenbrier every year. He would come, I'd be over there.